So right now I'm listening to my stepfather yell at the dogs out back. In years past, when I was home all day with my mother and stepfather, and my bedroom was right outside the back door, and he'd scream like a lunatic at these little toy dogs, the Yorkie and the Maltipoo, I would get so triggered. I'm like, I'm living in hell on earth. Is he doing it sadistically to bully me? You know, I thought my stepfather was the most miserable person on the face of the earth. I thought he was nasty, and it's like, just relax. Stop screaming at the dogs. They're just going potty out back. Leave them alone. But now, after getting some distance from my mother and stepfather, since being in here since July or August of 2019, I don't get so emotionally triggered by him screaming like a lunatic at the dogs anymore. I don't take it personally. Maybe he's just irritable, cranky, and he's screaming at the dogs like a lunatic, I remember many years ago when I went to Dr. Garrett, I would talk about how my stepfather abuses the dogs, which he didn't. He would scream at the dogs. He didn't actually hit them. Well, maybe he did hit the dogs, but he didn't abuse the dogs, but he would scream at them like a lunatic. And Dr. Garrett said, the dogs were a little bit like a metaphor for me. The dogs were a little bit like me. I'm like, treat the dogs with empathy. Treat the dogs with kindness. Pet the dog. Love the dog, You don't have to just be so nasty and mean and cold and abusive to the fucking dog. It's a little toy dog, Treat it with love, kindness, empathy. Treat it with respect. Don't just, does anybody care about it? And, I realize he's a hardworking man. He goes to his job. He's not living a life of luxury. And after a hard day, he doesn't feel like waiting for the dogs to go potty. But, obviously, I'm told by Dr. Garrett, the dogs, him screaming at the dogs, I'm kind of projecting or reflecting, I forget exactly what the right word was. I feel like the dog that's getting abused by my stepfather. I feel like the animal that's getting, screamed at and yelled at and, being made to walk on eggshells, being made to feel like a prisoner at home. Metaphorically speaking, I'm the abused dog.